Welcome to part 3 and the final part of how to paint this painting. It's an acrylic painting on stretch linen canvas. The size is 40 by 50 centimeters. All right, let's go.
So we'll continue with this section here, adding the yellow. It's about a 3/4 inch stiff bristled brush. I put the yellow down here before and seemed to not be happy with it, so I removed it. Now I'm adding it back again. It's almost a yellow glaze with some of the under paint there that I've added from the yellow and then removing it, so it's given it a bit of a yellow glazing in that section. I'm not planning this, I'm just applying it and seeing how it looks and how does it make me feel. Does it fit? If not, remove it. I like this quote from Joe Stefanelli. He's from the New York School. Back in the day, the abstract painters. He says, I want to paint that unique picture. I want to paint that picture that's never been seen before. I feel the same way. How boring to copy somebody else. How boring to copy your same painting again, and then again, and then again. One of a kind, unique. Move forward. To me, that's what life is all about. Not standing still. Adding some blue there next to the orangey yellow. Very juicy looking color combinations. This is the end of July when I did this painting, in the spirit of summer. And what a hot summer it's been. Flip the canvas to its side. Another look from the side here. One of the painters from the New York School was also not just Joe Stefanelli, of course, Willem de Kooning. And he took on a student by the name of Pat Pasloff, a woman whose paintings are excellent. And she had a quote that I really liked. She said, "Narrative does not belong in a painting, because then that distracts you. You think that's the point. The aim of painting is the exaltation of emotions." Wow, that's exactly how I think. Some people literally will write something on the painting with letters. I'm thinking of a Jean-Michel Basquiat, and then put lines through it. I mean, his art is great. I really enjoy it. But the letters, there are no rules, but to me that's now becoming part of the narration, and that is the aim of the painting. It distracts you, the letters. So this is why I like Pat Paslov's comment here, that narrative does not belong in a painting. And that can come with just the story that's being told in the painting. This is an abstract point of view. So if this is what you enjoy, abstract painting, abstract expressionist painting, I think that's putting it into words. This narrative idea. The lack of narrative is more interesting. You can get lost in the painting easier that way. Let me know in the comments what you think. Now, I do enjoy having a little something emerging from the canvas. So this looks a little bit like that, like this, like something. So in that sense, there's a little bit of a narrative, I guess. But it's not obvious. Now, it could go one way or it could go another way. This is the type of painting I enjoy, where it's left up to your own interpretation, the viewer's interpretation, not to be spelled out. Certainly not with letters, numbers. This is my feeling, If you enjoy the numbers and letters, okay, great, enjoy that. That's wonderful. I find it too easy. So I'll just stick to color and brushwork, palette knife, some charcoal to add interest. Turn it on its side. It's a little easier to do this brush stroke, so I'll turn it on its side. Sometimes it's easier ergonomically, with the body. It just won't move in a certain way. So flip the canvas, it becomes much easier to do the brush strokes. Back to the favorite orientation. These paintings take longer than they appear. Of course, I do a lot of editing out the thought process between brush strokes for your own enjoyment. But I do like to include most of the action, the process. Now I'm applying some titanium white here in the middle of that yellow with a palette knife and swooshed it up. I normally would have done that on the table, but because it's being filmed, I wanted you to be able to see that, so I'm just doing it leaning against the easel I've got. Putting some titanium white in the bottom right now. Which gives it some depth, you've got white that will appear at the front. The darker it is, will make it recede in the painting, so that gives you a little bit of depth. Working on this yellow now, on top of that white. Many painters work on a table that's flat. You may find that comfortable. It's harder to stand back and look at your painting when it's down flat on the table, but you can always stand it up to look at it. No rules. That's what I like about painting. You're not locked down into any particular format. Pun intended. Abstract all the way, in this case. So we're getting carried away with this white, almost icing section down the middle now, adding some cadmium orange hue. Now we've got it back to the final orientation that it will end up being. But at this stage, I'm still not 100% about the position of the painting. Adding some brown there. I'm feeling this is a bit like a tree. There's something coming off of it here, maybe. Adding and removing. The lighting changed. That's the night light, so it's a little dark on the balcony now. I've put this light on. So I feel this element here on the right side that I'm drawing. As you might notice now, does that not look like some kind of a frothy, cool-looking drink? Or some kind of a drink that could be hot? A glass of beer, perhaps? Maybe a cappuccino? A frothy-looking cappuccino? The colors for the end of July in an abstract painting. Working on the base of this abstract palm tree, if you will. With a tasty beverage on the right. working on the trunk of that tree. Or is it a tree? A palm tree. That color looks like a lovely milkshake. That's something you enjoy on a hot day. A cool milkshake. So the colors alone can make us think and feel of something. Now I'm adding a little bit of blue here. As you can see, with a finer brush. This would be like maybe a number 2. Bristle brush, stiff. Shows more texture, this type of a brush, rather than a polyester or a soft sable brush, which would be a little smoother in the texture. I tend to prefer the little rougher look, a little more action. I want to paint that unique painting. It's never been seen before. The slightly darker shade of blue here next to the beverage, if you will make the beverage appear a little closer, giving it that depth in the painting. Putting some of that blue over on the other side here for a little bit of color balance. Now, of course, I've drawn in this section here, it looks like grapes. First I thought it might look good with some grapes or coconuts. Okay, adding some purple. Wow, that looks very refreshing. The colors look very refreshing around the canvas. Summer's peak. I wasn't quite happy with that look. So, bring out the wet rag while it's still wet and you can erase that. Spray it with some water, let that sit a little bit, and then that'll help to remove the paint. Okay, now I think I'm going to make that a little red. So I'm trying something different now. Bring out the palette knife with the red and a little yellow. And cover that element. Almost into a chili pepper kind of form. The red on the left and the red on the right. I don't know, it's a little much. So I went with and skipped the stage right to an element that looks like the red element on the right. It's almost like a flower. Lovely color. I think that's it.
And that's how I did it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Remember to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any new videos coming up. Leave a comment below if you like. And please visit my website. You can see my gallery shop for this painting and more. The link's below. All right, thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time. Okay, bye for now.